My daughter's boyfriend wants to be on her mortgage. Yep, that's what my daughter's boyfriend wants her to do, is add him to the mortgage.
Thank you very much for watching. Today I'll be reacting to the craziest stories on the internet. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments.
My daughter's boyfriend wants to be on her mortgage. Yep, that's what my daughter's boyfriend wants her to do, is add him to the mortgage. You see, my daughter's been working her tail off to save to get a house, and finally she's where she needs to be. 2025 is her year. She got a real estate agent. She got pre-approved. She has her down payment plus more, and she's finalizing on a couple of houses that she really likes to see which one she wants to get. In the meantime, she's dating this one guy for about a year. His name is John, all right? And she's been questioning his motives, and she asked me for my opinion.
My first thought hearing this is that he's not her husband. He didn't help her buy the house. Why exactly does he think he deserves to be on the mortgage?
So tell me if I'm wrong for telling her this, okay? She asked me, would it be wrong to, if I added him to the mortgage?
Definitely not. I feel like that would be a very big mistake on her part.
I go, look, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong or right. You're going to have to pray on it, but this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't see the rush. I don't see what the benefit or the value would be if you added him. This is your house. It was your money. He didn't contribute anything. He didn't help you with anything, did he? You guys have only been dating for 1 year. What's the rush? Why can't you wait until you get married if that's where your relationship is going to take you? Then at that point, y'all can talk about it. But I don't see the rush.
I was there when she was saving up, finding the realtor, looking at houses, and even trying to buy a house, and he didn't contribute to that. But now that she has bought the house, he wants to conveniently be put on the mortgage. Like, make that make sense. If he knew from the start that he wanted to be put in the mortgage, he should have at least contributed part of the down payment. My honest opinion is that do not buy a house with a boyfriend. You don't have any long-term commitment with a boyfriend. Also, I wonder if he's planning on paying the mortgage, or is that just going to be her responsibility?
She goes, well, he's been acting kind of off and weird, and he's kind of saying that I owe it to him. I said, you don't owe anything to any man. He didn't do anything to you. You don't owe him nothing. Zero. And she understood. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry if I was being harsh or abrasive, but, I told you I was going to be truthful and honest to you. I said, I just don't think this is a good idea, because if one day you guys have a terrible fight of some sort and y'all break up, then what? Then what? I go ahead.
I think this mother is so right. She gave her daughter the perfect advice. That's just my opinion though. What makes him think he deserves to be on the deed of the house that he didn't help pay for? Like, he was literally there when she was doing all that was needed to buy the house, and he didn't think that he should contribute to that process. Now he feels entitled to be on the deed of the house. Just make that make sense. It literally doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like him behaving weirdly is just a manipulative tactics. He probably just thinks that if he's weird for a few days, she will change her mind just because she doesn't want him to be mad or break up with her. But in my opinion, do not do this. This is going to end badly. If this man decides to break up with you out of nowhere tomorrow, you're going to have to sell that house and pay him half of the value of the house. Is that what you want? You're not married to this man. You have no obligations to him. He's just a boyfriend. He's not even a fiancé. Like, he has literally not made any long-term commitment to you. Why will you make a long-term commitment to him?
Break up, then what? Then what? I go, it happens every day with people just, in marriage life, they get into a big argument and then poof, the divorce or cheating or whatever it may be. Or they just don't love each other. There's so many different things, and it gets messy. And that's where you're going to be headed towards if you do something like that. Could be. Not saying it will. But it doesn't look like your relationship is that serious as of right now. And she goes, yeah, that's true. So you tell me, would you tell your kids the same thing? Because I'm scared. I hope she doesn't do that, and she's an adult. But I want to put my foot in there and tell him a few words, but I can't. So what do y'all think?
I think this girl has an amazing mother. She gives really good advice. I also agree with the mother that the relationship is not strong enough for her to make that level of commitment. The fact that he saw her buying the house and he didn't do anything actively to contribute into the process, To me, it just feels like he doesn't really see her in his future. But also, they've only known each other for 1 year. So for some people, that might be too early for any sort of commitment. But then, don't you think having a mortgage together with somebody is also a big commitment? Why will you want that with somebody that is not committed to you in any way? With a husband, I'll be like, yes, that man should be on the deed. But with a boyfriend, come on, let's be honest, he might wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm out of here. There's nothing you can do to stop him. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to sell that house and give him half of it, unless you have enough cash to buy him out. Some of the top comments, this person says boyfriend don't get husband privileges. Exactly, you're not married to this man, you're not even his fiancé. So there's no need for you guys, there's no need for you to do this at all. And the fact that you said no and he's acting weird, I think that on its own is a red flag. This is one of my favorite comments. This person says, owe it to him after a year of dating. No. Exactly. Like, what makes him think you owe it to him to put his name on it? I really don't understand that thought process. Based on the mother's story, he didn't contribute anything to the down payment. So why does he feel like she owe it to him to put him on the deed? Like, it really doesn't make any sense to me. I'm pretty sure if the situation was reversed, he wouldn't put her on the deed. Let's just be honest, no normal person would do that. This other person brings up a really good point. This person says, I see a scam a mile away. Later down the line, he finds an excuse to break up with her and forcing her to sell so he can get paid. This is exactly what I fear would happen if she puts him on the deed. He can just wake up in 6 months and be like, I don't want to be here anymore. And now you owe him $40,000 or God knows how much it's going to cost for you to buy him out of the house. Alright, this next video is of a woman stitching her real life experience of something like this. So I'm going to play that now.
My daughter's boyfriend wants to be on her mortgage. Yep, that's what my daughter's boyfriend wants her to do, is add him to the mortgage. You see, my daughter's been working her tail off to...
Hey, your video popped up on my For You page and I just had to respond. I want to tell you and your daughter a personal story that happened to me. I was with a guy for a year, married. I divorced him after being with him a year and a half. When we got together, he showed me a side of him that I enjoyed and loved. And then slowly things had changed and I just started seeing the real him after we got married. He then had said to me, well, you know, your name is on everything and I'm not on anything.
That's because she bought everything before she met you. I feel like it's very entitled to come into somebody's life and start demanding that they put your name on things that you weren't there when they bought. You know, like if you were married to them when they were buying the property, that's different. But she already bought all these properties before she met you. Like, it's a total different ball game.
Now keep in mind, I owned a house. He made me feel so bad and I was like, oh my gosh, I understand. I called my mortgage company and I told them, what do I have to do to add my significant other onto my mortgage or onto the house? They told me about the paperwork. All he had to do was sign it and send it back. They sent me the paperwork. Now, when they sent me this paperwork, for some reason, don't tell me why, I filled it out, had them sign it, and it sat there. I think I put it on a desk somewhere. It just sat there. I never even sent it in. I don't know what reasons. I believe my spirit family told me she ain't sending that in.
I think she knew deep down her gut that was a bad decision.
But that's another story. As time went on, and like I said, I decided finally to divorce him for many, many reasons. During our divorce, he said, well, I own half of your house and your business. He had an attorney. I had one too. I said, what are you talking about? Oh, my name is on the house. Now my heart dropped because I'm just like, oh my God, he's right. I put his name on my house. But I had to recall, I never mailed the paperwork in. This man would have been entitled to half of my house. But you know what he wanted? He wanted either me to pay him off, which I would have to, or sell the house and give him half. Now, keeping in mind,
but he didn't contribute anything into you building all that asset. Why do people feel entitled to things that they didn't contribute into building? Like, it literally doesn't make sense.
I paid the mortgage. I put the down payment on the house when I bought the house prior to even meeting him. But he wanted half of everything I own. And he brought nothing in. Nothing.
This is my problem with entitled people. You are literally not even paying a mortgage, and you feel entitled to half of a property that you didn't put down anything to buy. Make this make sense. Come on. And then now he wants to own half of our business when he wasn't even part of the process of building it. It just feels like this is somebody that is very, very entitled to me.
Now, the moral to that story is, tell your daughter that I said this. Any man who believes he's entitled to something that he never was any part of anything, or didn't put something towards this to be a part of it, that's a red flag. A red flag. And let me also tell her that the average person who has not bought a house before, they don't know you can just easily sign paperwork and send it to the mortgage company and add yourself to that mortgage. Someone's been talking in his ear, or he's done it before.
It's true, he might have done it before and gotten away with it, because that's the only thing that makes sense, right?
Tell her, don't be nobody's fool. Now let me give you another example. I owned a nursing business. Had clients who had a lot of money. They paid privately. My mother, I allowed her to take these clients personally for herself. In the process, one of her clients gave my mother power of attorney. And they decided to buy a house. Now, this house is like a mini mansion. Long story short, things went very bad with them. They need to sell the house and go their separate ways. But the lady wanted her money. They had to go to court. When we were in court, the judge looked at my mother and stated, "You were wrong. If I could, I'll put you in jail. But because of the law, I have to give you half of this property." Because of other reasons, she had to give the lady the money back. But if things went the way she wanted it to go, she would have had money to a half of a property, a mini mansion. She would have inherited a lot of money to half a property that she didn't put nothing into. Nothing. So tell your daughter, if he really wants to be a part of it, how about when you guys get married, if you do, you buy your house together where his name is on it, where he puts that down payment, or maybe you guys even split it 50-50. And then the house that's in your name, you just rent it out. And that money probably go towards the mortgage. Please, 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 please. Don't do it. And if you need to just go a little step higher than what I'm saying, have her hire an attorney for some legal advice to find out what's going to happen if she allows herself to put his name on what she worked so hard to get, and he did nothing.
The worst part of this for me is that he was literally there when she was trying to buy this house, and he decided to contribute nothing to it. But now that it's time for him to benefit, he's pressuring her into putting his name on the deed. Like, I just feel like he's just a very entitled person. Let's just be honest, when you break up with somebody, that sweet loving person, most of the time they are not that person, and he will do all he can to make sure he gets half of that property. He's not going to think that, oh, you did this out of a loving heart. No, he might be a very spiteful person, and he might force you to sell that house just so that he can get half of the property. In my opinion, doing this is going to be a very bad decision. It might hurt you to say no to him now, but you'll be grateful in the future that you didn't say yes. And also, as this lady said, when you guys get married, you guys can buy a house together, and then rent out the other house. There are so many other things you guys can do, but when you guys get married, there's a different level of commitment, right? I'm going to read some of the top comments. This person said, I had a hubby do that to me. I never added him. So glad I didn't. He tried to take my home anyways. The judge laughed. You see, you don't know who this person is going to be if you guys go through a breakup. They might do everything in their power to take that house away from you. Your years of hard work. He's not going to think, oh, when you were putting his name on the deed, it was because of the kindness of your heart. No, this man can literally cheat on you and still get half of your house. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but I'm just saying that these are situations that actually happen in real life. This person said, this happened to my mom. She added my dad and never took him off. He got paid for something he never contributed to. Exactly. If he saw you save up to buy a house and didn't think to contribute to that, I won't be too surprised if he doesn't pay anything into the mortgage. If he behaves weirdly, he's just trying to manipulate you into making an emotional decision. But in this kind of situation, you have to put your emotions aside and think about your future. If you guys ever get married, then maybe you guys can make a different arrangement. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments.